Good afternoon. You're listening to Weekly Victory Bells News, the world's choice for weekly news. This week, the League of Nations formed a commission to study reports of Morgana collusion in the Baltic Sea. In particular, there were 4 complaints. 1. That Finland was engaged in the use of Morgana technology and assistance on land or at sea. 2. That the Soviet Union was engaged in the use of Morgana technology on land. 3. That Germany was engaged in the use of Morgana technology on land. And 4. Neutral shipping was being used to carry Morgana technology under the direction of the major powers. These powers have not yet issued a formal response to the League's actions. The topic of Finland remains the greatest source of contention between powers at the League. The Finnish delegation, however, must wait until the committee releases its findings in the Baltic before a promised debate will be held. The potential for discovery has now silenced previous debate over the inclusion of the Soviet Union in the League. The Comintern had its own objectives this week, seeking to stay on par with the other powers through espionage and guile. The Communists recognized the possibility that the United States would accept the League's offer to become a repository of Morgana research, but also recognized that many in America were fiercely anti-communist. In order to stay on top of research, Communist agents sought to infiltrate the Allies' PC Bruno program. Though they were unable to achieve their designated goals, enough was done to gain a foothold in the program. Italian and Greek ships attacked a large group of Vanity Morganas in the Aegean Sea. 5 Vanities were sunk by the combined force, which suffered only minor damage. 1 Greek destroyer secured a kill by itself. The Italian government accepted Britain's trade offer. Italy will now receive coal from Britain in exchange for Italian-built munitions and aircraft. While it was hardly ideal for Italy, it did buy them valuable time and resources. German sources report that their country is reacting with disdain to the news. Japan's crusade against delusion was paused this week. After weeks of hunting, the IJN decided instead to resume regular patrols in the South China Sea. Their extensive experience in the region allowed the fleets to patrol without issue from Morgana weather. As delusion was found to be unwilling or unable to launch further attacks, and a group of fire was destroyed before they could attack the home islands, Japanese officials have become most concerned with the growing Morgana presence on the island of Sakhalin, so much so that they officially petitioned the League for help from the captain. The French main fleet rested in Brest for the first time after weeks of fighting and deployment to the relief of many involved. The home waters were kept safe by small, regular patrols, and little Morgana activity was seen off the French coast. Tensions with Spain grew after French authorities refused to release wounded citizens rescued from the recent Morgana attacks. The explanation given was that these wounded had suffered from Morgana experimentation and were neurologically damaged. The French would care for them on a destroyer converted into a hospital ship. The United States continued its campaign against sedition, though without any gains toward the hated Morgana herself. Nevertheless, recruitment was on the rise across the nation, and many believed the Americans would be the key to destroying this threat. Constitution's final plea was that America would join with their European fellows in the League, a sentiment many were coming around to in regards to the Western powers, but far less so when it came to the communists of the Soviet Union. The Pacific Fleet returned to Hawaii without issue. The German Kriegsmarine stayed close to the naval base at Helgoland this week, even being ordered to ignore the Morgana mistrust's nearby presence. This kept the island safe, but also the Kriegsmarine close to German shores. German command issued a proclamation that merchant raiding would now target any vessel flying exclusively British or French colors. League vessels would be required to fly an additional international flag, as well as submit for inspection. After the belle of Admiral Graf Spee reported nightmares of a battle near South America, she was ordered back to Germany for testing. Tensions have begun to rise between Germany and both Italy and the Soviet Union, with reports of political and military skirmishes between the powers. The Soviet Union's Baltic Fleet fired on Finnish defenses and retreated without incident. Submarines claimed to have sunk Finnish and Morgana vessels in the area. In the Pacific, the Soviet Pacific Fleet was ordered to avoid the Morgana infestation on Sakhalin, possibly as a result of their failed attempt in earlier weeks. Navy and Army presence remains thin in the area. A Royal Navy flotilla dispersed a Morgana concentration near South Africa. Back at home, British waters remained clear on the surface from German raiding, but a steady U-boat presence made shipping continually dangerous. Other British fleets patrolled colonial holdings in the Mediterranean and Pacific. A pair of British Bells reported nightmares similar to Graf Spey's, concerning the same location near South America. Allied intelligence has reportedly opened up an investigation concerning possible Morgana involvement affecting these bells. That's all for this week. Join us again at Weekly Victory Bells News as we bring you the latest news from around the world. From all of us here at the studio, stay safe out there.